Math of Mr. Williams, example 1. Solving equations. Solve x minus 5 equals negative 1. So let's go ahead and start off by drawing our line of equality here. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my inverse operation. So I see my minus 5. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides of the equal sign. The minus 5 and adding 5 cancel out, leaving me the variable x equals negative 1 plus a positive 5 will give me a positive 4 for my answer. On the second one, we do have fractions, but the same process applies. So we're going to draw our line of equality. I see I'm adding 3 over 2, so I'm going to subtract 3 over 2 both sides. This cancels out, leaving me the variable z equals, we have 1/2 minus 3 over 2. Since they have a common denominator, I'm going to keep the denominator, leaving me 1 minus 3 on top. And if you take away 3 from 1, you end up with a negative 2 on top over 2, which we can simplify down to negative 1 for my answer. Math of Mr. Williams, example 2. Writing an equation. A skydiving company has a profit of $750 this week. This profit is $900 more than the profit P last week. Which equation can be used to find P? Solve for the P. All right, so basically at this point in time, we know that because the statement is more than something, we know that addition is in play. And since it's $900 more than it was last week, we'll say it was $200. So $900 more than that 200 would be $1,100. So you can see more than really just means addition. So we have 900 is being added on to whatever it was last week. In that case, that's the letter P. And we know our final result will be $750 for this week. The only one that matches up will be letter B. Now let's go ahead and solve it. So to cancel this out, we draw our line of equality. Now we're going to subtract, because we see addition, the 900 from both sides. Adding and subtracting the same number cancels out, leaving me the variable P equals 750 minus 900, give me a negative 150 for the profit last week. So they actually lost money last week. Math of Mr. Williams, example 3, solving equations. Solve x divided by 3 equals negative 6. Let's go ahead and write down that equation. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw our line of equality here. Now we see that x is being divided by 3, so we know to cancel division out, we're going to multiply by 3 on both sides of our line of equality. I can see when I multiply and divide by the same number, it cancels, leaving me the variable x equals negative 6 times 3, and negative 6 times 3 will give me a negative 18 for my answer. On the second one, we have 18 equals negative 4y. Let's go and write down our equation, draw my line of equality. I see that I'm multiplying by negative 4, so I'm going to divide by negative 4 on both sides. On the right, when we multiply and divide by the same number, it cancels, leaving me y equals, we have 18 divided by negative 4. Well, 4 can goes into a 18 4 times. What's left over is 2 numbers out of 4. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. So what goes into 2 and 4? 2. So I'm going to divide each top and bottom by 2, leaving me negative 4 and 1/2 equals y. Now I can also simplify that down if I need to a decimal of negative 4.5 equals y for my final answers. Math of Mr. Williams, example 4, solving equations using reciprocals. Solve negative 4/5 x equals negative 8. Let's go ahead and write down our equation. All right, so let's go ahead and use our reciprocal method here. So basically, draw my line of equality. I'm going to multiply by the flipping or the reciprocal of the fraction to both sides. So what this does is it basically cancels out the left, and I'll prove it to you. So 5 times negative 4 is going to give me a negative 20, over negative 4 times 5 is a negative 20. So negative 20 divided by negative 20, well, that just turns into 1x, or just x by itself. So this method will just cancel out the fraction on the side we don't want it. But on the right, now we have to go ahead and do our math. So we have negative 8 is going to change into negative 8 over 1 times 5 over negative 4. Multiply straight across, and we get negative 40 over a negative 4. Negative 40 divided by negative 4 will just get me an answer of 10 for my final answer. All right, on to the next one. We have negative 6 equals 3 over 2 times z. Writing down the equation, draw my line of equality. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is just 2 over 3 now. The flipping of that 3 over 2 to both sides. On the right, the fractions are going to cancel, leaving me z equals, we have 2/3 times, we're going to say negative 6 over 1. Negative 6 times 2 is going to give me a negative 12. 3 times 1 is 3. And negative 12 divided by 3 will give me a negative 4 for my final answer.